religion, it says that if God gives you 70 years, that's a wonderful thing. But for 80 years, that's exceptionally good.
He talks about it all the time. He's not happy about being 80. I keep telling him it's just a number, but he just feels he's getting up there. But he'll get over it in no time.
The 80 in terms of Norton Sarnoff is a meaningless number. No, he's pretty much ageless.
Can't believe he's so old. I think he probably can't either.
He's a real young 80-year-old. He's working out, he's walking, he's playing golf, he's active in his business, and he's hard to keep up with.
Usually you think of an 80-year-old as kind of, boring, and he's really active and he's always having fun.
I haven't seen him slow down that much. He's still the boss.
He doesn't act like he's 80 years old, and he truly is just a big kid.
I don't think 80 bothers him at all. I think he's looking forward to the next 20 and still doing what he's doing right now.
Oh, I've seen him doing the same thing. I don't see him going down at all.
He's 80 years young. His mom lived 105, and I think he'll make it too.
He is timeless. He's one person I know that truly seems to get younger as he gets older.
He is going real fast at 80. He sets an example of, taking care of yourself and always improving every day.
He wishes he was 20 years younger. So turning 80 to him means he just wants to turn the clock back that much further.
My name is Barry Robbins, and I'm probably Norton's oldest friend. We go back 75 years. We met in kindergarten on the west side of Chicago at Robert Emmett School. He lived in an apartment, and I lived in an apartment. Most people did in the area in that time. And as we used to walk to school, there was a big street, Madison Street. We'd yell across the street at each other and talk to each other. Of course, on the west side, there was Ben and Lil and his sister Phyllis, who all lived there. And after a period of time, Ben decided to move the family down to Miami. When he moved down to Florida, we corresponded at that time when he was down there.
And there's a story when they lived in Florida when he was young and they had easy poor, and that he used to get all his friends together, gather them together in the house and put together the tops. So he enlisted his friends way back then, but he was always working and witnessed it, and I think it's just who he is.
After around 7th or 8th grade, Ben moved the family back to Chicago, and Norton and I were sort of like brothers in a way because we were always close. We went through all the bar mitzvahs, all the weddings, the good times, the bad times, and always friends through the years.
My name is Stan Kaplan, and Norton and I go back 60 years plus to high school. And, in fact, when we were in high school, we went to a restaurant one time we were going, and the police were having problems with kids congregating at the corner in front of the restaurant. It was Cofield's, I think it was. So Norton and I parked his car, and we were walking, and the cops stopped us and said, "What are you doing?" And Norton had no compunction in just saying to the copper, "It doesn't make any difference what we were doing. We were just walking to the restaurant." Well, the next thing we knew, we were sitting in a squad car. We ended up at the police station. And, that's Norton. He's strong-willed, strong mind. And I remember how hard he was working when his family first started their business. In high school, he was working. College, he was working. He went out on the road and did selling and everything else. We roomed together at Wisconsin. We were in the same fraternity house, Pi Lam. And we both happened to be born on the same day. So we're both celebrating 80 years this May 26th.
Nort got his drive from his father, Ben. Ben was a very strong individual.
His dad was tough, fair, very hardworking. His mom was also dynamic, so they were both tough. And Nort got, all the good parts of both of them, and that's how he developed into what he is today.
My grandfather loved my grandmother. He said her cooking was the best cooking, and it was the only that he liked. And he really cared for her, and I'm sure that he would have wanted my father to take very good care of her, and he did. He very good care of her.
The Easy Pour started out as a one-item company and then branched out, and then continued into Niles, Illinois, and then finally into Wheeling, Illinois. Of course, when they came back to Chicago, then they got into aluminum foil, and then they sold that business, and that's when NSAR Corporation was started.
As soon as the non-comp agreement was up, right back in the competing business. It's just Norton. He doesn't let any grass grow under his feet.
I was the secretary. I had an office with a desk, and that was it. And that's how he started, and he really built up this company from nothing.
He had his word, he had his reputation. It's really just a testament to his blood, sweat, and tears, and just his drive.
Well, we're the national brand leader by far. I mean, we're on the top due to innovations, and I think just the fact that we don't tell somebody we can do something if we can't do it. We ship on time, we ship complete, and we sell good stuff.
Business-wise, you could see and you appreciate what he's done. Also, on a personal level, to raise 8 kids, now that I'm raising 3 of my own, is an unbelievable milestone. I appreciate now what he's done, business-wise and personal, are unbelievable.
He always feels he has to have his hands in the pot, and he loves working with the 2 boys, and the 2 boys have really carried it, a step further. So it's wonderful to be able to work with your kids and have such results. The company is doing better now than it's ever done. His children, his grandchildren, that's his greatest joy in life. He has a wonderful relationship with all the kids. He really does.
My name's Ben Zalaznik. I'm grandchild number 1. I'm very proud to be the first grandchild of Nort. And I love my family, and I'm happy to be in Chicago celebrating with everybody.
My name's Jason Lorenzini, and my first memory of my grandpa, we were sitting down watching the Bears game. This is when I was like 4 or 5, just having a great time. 2 guys watching some Bears football, shoving food in our face.
I'm Abby. I am the 3rd out of the grandchildren, and I love my grandpa. He's a very witty and funny guy, and he has a very a witty sense of humor, and he's hilarious.
I'm Brendan, and I'm the 4th grandchild. Grandpa loves to tease me about talking to the wall. He's upbeat and fun, and he's kind of like the instigator of the party.
I'm Adam Lorenzini. I'm the 5th grandchild. Grandpa can be a little impatient sometimes, but everything else is really great about him. He's very determined and nice and funny.
Happy 80th birthday, Grandpa. Love you.
Brad and I have 3 children. Charlie, who is 5.5 at the moment. Jackson, who we call Jax, who is going to be 4 in July.
I love you, Grandpa.
And Grayson, who is 14 months.
Benjamin is the newest Sarnoff. He was born in January of 2017, and he is our little love, and he's Nort's newest grandson.
When you go to a restaurant with Norty and they happen to put some food into an aluminum tray or something like that, the first thing he does, he looks at the bottom to see is it one of his or not, It's very funny.
We were talking about what comes next after 80. And he told me, death. I'm like, well, that's an enlightening way to look at life.
That's the most important thing in his life, is to win at golf. And playing with Norty is really a lot of fun if you can put up with his complaining. Every time he misses a shot, he complains about his back or something else. But it's nice to be with Norty most of the time, except when he's playing poor golf.
They call him sandbaggers. He says he's a high handicap, and he's really a low one.
There's no shot clock in golf, you know what I mean? But if you go golfing with him, he kind of imposes one that we're getting done, we're moving quick, So when you play fast, and that's a source of pride for him, that he likes to play fast, even at 80 years old.
We call him the safety police. And what he does is throw out violations.
This looks familiar. I've seen quite a few of these in my day. Yeah, this is my dad's flag.
I saw that penalty flag a few times, but yeah, as far as violations, it's he's trying to teach his kids, when kids do something wrong, they need to be told. And when I did something wrong, he let me know about it.
There were 6 of us then, all at once, and we used to say it was the Brady Bunch. That was a big television show back then. And then when we had David and Brad, we became 8 is enough. People would stop us, and they couldn't believe we were all one family.
It is. It's sort of like a sitcom, and everybody has a role in the sitcom. And so if you remove one of those characters, you feel the void.
And I understand we were 8 kids in a house. It was pretty much crazy. So we had different rules growing up. And the kitchen closed at 10. So you got caught in the kitchen after 10, the flag was up. Through the flag, you were sent to your room.
My first violation, I think, that I remember is when he got a brand new car. He got this gorgeous white Mercedes. I think I was in high school, and it was just this gorgeous car, and he was so proud of it and so happy to have it. And the first day out on the maiden voyage, I tried to open the glove compartment, and I broke it on the first day. So I got a big violation for that, and I had to go sit in the back seat from then on.
I think I'm the record holder for right now. Diving in the pool, staying up too late, eating in my bed at his house, all violations. It could be if I breathe too loud, I get one, but pretty sure I'm the record holder for right now.
I'm a daughter-in-law, so I can get violations as well. So I've gotten a few, said some things that may or may not have been liked or perceived correctly with Norty. So I like his safety police when others do not. But I don't like to tell him that because we don't like to give credit where credit is due. I like to give him a hard time about it.
When I met Nort, he was nothing but so kind and nice, and he had a huge smile on his face. And, I realized that we had just a ton in common. For example, politics. And what I learned was that my father-in-law-to-be loved, like I did, Hillary Rodham Clinton. And in fact, last summer, he took a trip with me, and we went on a father-daughter-in-law bonding trip to the Democratic National Convention in Philly. And I brought some pictures. So happy 80th birthday, Nort, and many more.
He's one of 300. He's not one of a million. He's one of 300. I know a lot of people like him. So he's not that exciting. You're making him more exciting than he is.
I met him in St. Andrews Country Club when he moved in, and he hustled me on the golf course, and consequently we became fast friends because I couldn't pay him what I lost in golf.
As successful as Norty is, he has one thing that he does which amazes me. During lunchtime, if he's not eating in the club, he walks up and down the streets, particularly the delicatessens. He looks in to see if he knows somebody. Because if he knows somebody, he always comes in and sits with them because he knows he's going to get a free meal. And he does this all the time. He's constantly walking by, like the other day, he happened to see me in there, and he's very successful, but he loves those free meals, okay?
It's about three and a half years ago, he had a charisma bypass surgery. I don't know what happened to him. He got boring, he got cheap, he didn't pay attention. He just I don't know what happened to him. And in fact, I have a picture here where everyone, look how happy everybody is. But take a look at Nori. He just doesn't care. He's very boring, not into this at all. And I don't know, he's been like this for quite a while, and I don't know where he's at. But to be realistic with you, I think Nori's a special guy. First of all, he's a bright man. He's a great businessman, and he has a great sense of dry humor. And either you get it with him or you don't.
He loves his business, but the children, grandchildren, that's his life. That's what makes him the happiest.
And I think if you look at, in 80 years, look at all he's accomplished. It's an incredible, successful business. 8 kids, 12 grandkids. How much more success can a person have?
He's virtuous, he's moral, he's a great person, he works hard, he's loving, and he cares about his fellow men.
I'm grateful for his example of generosity. The way he treats the employees, the way he treats people. So he's not only just generous to his family and to his employees, but he's also very generous with making donations, and it's a very good example for all of the family.
He's a very humble man. He has a very big heart. He's very philanthropic, cares about others, things like cancer, genetic studies, autism. He is very passionate about those things and is very generous and philanthropic.
The thing is with Nort, he's got what he has in mind and what he wants to do, and he does it. He just focuses on his goal and he accomplishes it, and he's very disciplined in doing that.
He definitely has a soft spot for his daughters-in-law, and he loves us just as much as he loves his children, and feel like I'm his daughter and not necessarily the in-law part.
He just enjoys life. That's what makes him extraordinary. He's always looking to better himself.
And this is something I noticed about him from the very beginning, just the biggest smile on his face all the time when he greets you. And that's a very warm and welcoming thing. And it's such a wonderful, wonderful family to be a part of, and I'm so grateful for that.
Everyone can see that he's a successful businessman and, successful just in so many areas of his life. But, for me, it's just about the kind of father he's been and the kind of comfort and groundedness that's brought for me in my life. Just a ton of appreciation that I feel for him.
There's only one Norton. And, I don't know anyone like him. He's just such a special and unique man.
He possesses a love for family, a loyalty, and more importantly, a love for life. And I think that's one thing that I take away from him is most of my deepest loves and my deepest passions in life all kind of emulate from him.
Last year we were sitting at dinner with the kids and just kind of reminiscing, and I said, if you could go back in time to another time in your life, what would that be? Your 20s, your 30s. And he looked at me and he said, no, right now, this moment is where I want to be.